Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another pick a card reading here at Scatter Love Tarot, with your girl coming at you with a channeled pick a card reading, which is, do you have a curse or a hex on you? And we're going to find out more about that and get some advice. We'll get some descriptions about, if there is, the descriptions of the person, and then also finding out some advice for us to hopefully move away from that and move into the protection of the divine light. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, I just want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that has supported me in any one way, shape, or form. I am truly honored and blessed to have had a chance to cross paths with you, to connect with your amazing energy, and to just have you here as a part of this tribe, whether that's for the long haul or just for a visit. I'm just honored and blessed, and know that. Also, if you do wish to support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, or if you would like to get a personal reading or donate to the channel, know that nothing is required of you. It is all truly appreciated. There are links down below in the description box that will take you to anything that you desire down there to help out with the channel. Also, if you're interested in taking my podcast on the go, you'll find a link there that will take you over to Spotify for Scatter Love Radio. I am also on Anchor FM. If you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder to you that we are all human here. You are welcome with open arms and a loving embrace exactly as you are in this here now here moment. So thank you for joining us. We will be doing things a tad bit differently today, but I'm excited to see what comes through, and I hope that we can use this as a lesson to find protection for our own divine journey. Let us go ahead and get into the prayer. I'm going to set an intention for protection prayer over each and every one of you, regardless of the outcome that comes through today. I just feel, because you are a part of my tribe, because you've allowed me your energy, that we all deserve to have this divine protection over us. It doesn't matter who you are. No one deserves to go through life with malicious intent towards them and suffering from that. So, and I know that it does happen. Perfect. My beloved source, this is a prayer for protection. Prayer for protection over all those that come onto this video, that are on this channel. Even if they don't see this video, I just ask for protection for any and all who come into contact with my channel. Protection from those that wish us harm. Protection of your love, your unconditional love, knowing that love is the highest vibrational energy that there is, and that when we are surrounded in love, when we are gifted love, and when we live in a space of unconditional love, that regardless of the darkness, the evil, the maliciousness that roams the world, we can become unaffected by that by seeing it from a very high vibrational energy, and an understanding that we have control over our own destinies. Regardless, still though, there are some of us that are concerned and worried about demonic energies, about low vibrational energies. It's not that they don't exist, for they truly do. But this is a prayer to help open our eyes to discernment and the best decisions that serve our highest good when it comes to energies like those. To know that we have a choice to set a boundary, and if boundaries are being crossed, that we also have a choice and an opportunity to lead. We are never required to put up with energies like this simply because. Whatever the reason that is, simply because can be anything. So I ask that you shed this bright light upon each and every one of us here, so that we may become so bright that those lower vibrational energies vibe out of our lives and we do nothing. It's easily and effortlessly that you go to war and to battle on our behalf, as you have always promised you would. And I ask that you become the armor for each and every one of us, that you become the sword of truth, that you become the word of understanding and love, and that you become the reason of acceptance of what is, not what should be, not what could be, but what is. As these words are spoken unto this space and unto those here, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me get this set up over here and burn that for you. And I don't know why I feel called to say this here before we get... I'm going to pull the oracles out for you here. That incense should never be for smell, like to bring smell into the room. And I know a lot of people do this. Incense was actually created as an offering, right? And that's why I personally light it and say a prayer, because my offering for my prayer and for my prayer to become true is the incense, burning earth and fire and air all together. The only element that's really truly missing here is water, and I always keep water with me on the table, even though you all don't see it. But it is the offering that I send to Source, saying that this is my gift to you, knowing that you will always offer me and say yes to my prayers. And I don't know why I need to say that there. I think somebody needs to hear that. So just saying. Anyways, let us go ahead and get some oracles out here and find out. And the oracles this time are going to be for advice on your journey, okay? They're not going to be for what they can tell us more about what's going on with this person, or if you are hexed. I'm asking for the oracles today to be advice on your journey, okay? So for pile number 1, Source, what oracle will give the best advice for this journey, regardless of the outcome of their reading? What oracle will help us give the best advice? Thank you, Source. Okay, Source, for pile number 2, what oracle will give the best advice for pile number 2, regardless of the outcome of this reading? What oracle card will give the best advice for them? Thank you. Right, and for pile number 3, Source, what oracle card will give the best outcome, or the best advice, regardless the outcome? Thank you, Source. All right. Look, companionship dog came out on the bottom, and I feel like this is Source coming in saying, remember, I am always with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I am always with you on the journey, carrying you through. Sometimes you don't know I'm there because, again, I'm getting that poem Footprints in the Sand, because the Source's footprints are the only footprints you see. Because sometimes we're not strong enough to carry ourselves. But we're never left alone. Even in the shadow, Source is always our light. Okay? Always our friend, always our lover, always our mother, our father. However you want to put it, Source is everything to us and will continue to be everything to us. Okay, so for pile number 1, I do have this piece of clear crystal quartz for you to choose from. Actually going to try and do this a little bit different. You guys might notice a lot of things are changing, and that's okay. Change is inevitable. So for pile number 2, I do have this beautiful piece of lapis lazuli. And for pile 3, we do have this beautiful moonstone to choose from. Okay, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you, keeping in mind that these are general readings. But with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, pile number 1. For my fellow humans drawn to this beautiful crystal quartz, or if you were drawn to this card during the drawing, this is going to be a reading on, is there a curse or a hex on me, or someone using black magic? Today, I'm actually going to use the dice later in the reading. So we're actually going to start out with tarot, just to kind of find out what's going on. So there is a specific way to do this. This card represents you, and then I'll shuffle these and get into it. But before we get into that, I do just want to say, These are general, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel any one way, a personal reading, or heading on over to my podcast, all those links can be found below in the description box. As for the podcast, the latest one as of recording this video is talking about depression and the effects of it and dealing with people who don't take it seriously. This was a very difficult podcast for me to do because of how personal it got. However, I do feel like it was meant to be, because when I was trying to upload it, there was all kinds of stuff that was happening that was refusing to let me to upload it, and then finally I was able to get it through. So for whatever reason, there are individuals or entities out there that did not want you to have access to this. So I know that this is something that Source wanted, because it was a very uncomfortable topic for me, and it was going outside of my comfort zone and being completely transparent with you. Okay, now that that's out of the way, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and my podcast is on Spotify and Anchor FM. It is at Scatter Love Radio. And yeah, you can check that out. So I gotta shuffle these cards over here. So Source, for pile number 1, can you tell us if they have a hex on them, a curse on them? What can you tell us about that? Does pile number 1 have a curse or a hex on them, Source? Sorry, I'm shuffling these few cards, and it's so weird to shuffle so few cards. Does pile number 1 have a hex or a curse on them? Okay, they want me to stop. Alright, so let's see. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so pile 1. This card represents you. This is the current, and then this talks about what's happening in your life. Like, what's going on? What is it that you're going through? So the good news is that no, there's not a curse or a hex on you, which you might be like, but the devil's right there close to me. What's going on? However, we have the 3 of Swords coming out right next to you, which is talking about self-infliction, self-harm. But this is also something, I'm going to move these over just a tad here. This is also something that's connected to a deity. Okay, so you may have done some spiritual work that is coming back to bite you in the butt. Which is interesting, because we actually don't have the spell work right here. Okay, spell work isn't close to you. We want to take the cards that are closest to you here and understand them a little bit more. So we have self-inflicted energy here that's coming through. It's like you're the one that's standing in your own way and maybe believing that there's a hex or a curse on you, because that's the easiest way to explain it. Okay, and we will get more tarot on this to understand. But when we have the devil, it's talking about an entity or a deity. So honestly, I cannot make this up when I'm getting the energy that you may have recently connected with a haunted object. Like a haunted doll or a haunted token or a haunted talisman. You may have purchased a haunted object without realizing it. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that it's creating some sense of depression or some sense of heaviness and shadow in your life. And so right now, it's not that somebody is over here like, curse you, pile 1. That's not what it is. This is actually you maybe getting involved in the darker shadow things without actually doing some research, right? So I don't know why they're telling me this, but they're showing me where it's like maybe you watched a haunted show online, or you watch someone who's dealing with haunted objects, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. I think I could do that too. And then you went and got something, and it was like basically getting in over your head, not really realizing that, oh my goodness, okay, this was not what I was looking to. And so I'm getting a sense of restless nights. I'm getting a sense of overwhelming anxiety coming through here, not sure why. I'm also getting a sense of being stuck in a repeat pattern. The other thing that's coming through here, which is odd, is that maybe you went to a haunted place and stepped into a vortex, and you did it knowingly. Like you went knowingly. And this with the Three of Swords here, this is a very, I did this, okay? Like, this is self. I did this to me, okay? And so with that, stepping into some sort of vortex, you know, maybe where a lot of people died, or where there was a lot of chaos, or a lot of harm inflicted, and there's something that has attached to you that is making you do these things for yourself, or to yourself, or trying to. And so with that, it's saying, okay, wow, they want me to talk about this. The other night I had a dream. Okay, and I have prophetic dreams. I don't really talk about them a lot. I write them all down, but I don't really talk about them too much. But right now they want me to talk about a dream. I had a dream the other night where I was in this place and there was a little shadow of a figure, and it was like basically where I live at, and I went in to go to the bathroom, and this figure, it hid behind one of the curtains, which is completely impossible because I have blinds that stick to the window. So, but anyways, it was behind the curtain, and it was mocking me, and I was like, what is your problem? Like, and it was just like, it was like saying all kinds of weird things to me that I couldn't understand, and I knew that it was demonic, and I knew that it was not a good energy at all. It was a very nasty energy, and I ended up coming out into the living room, and it followed me, and I turned around and I yelled at it. I was like, you have no right being here. And I was like, I forbid you to be in this space with me, and I therefore command you to leave. And it like writhed, and it freaked out, and it was trying to get out the door, but because I didn't have the door open, it couldn't get out. And so I went and I opened the door, and it like ran out the door, and it was like, oh my gosh. And it left me feeling like very anxious, and it woke me up, and I was like, whoa, this is really heavy. And I think I had that dream for you, Pile One. Like, I think that's why Source put it on my heart, and why they're putting it on my heart now to tell you about it, because I feel like that's kind of what's going on. It doesn't necessarily have to be demonic, but it could be like, you know, there are entities that are jesters, and they like to cause mischievous things to happen, and you may hear lots of sounds. You may come home to like cabinets being open. You may come home to like you made your bed and the sheets pulled back, and you're like, what the heck? Or like if you have an animal, you may just blame it on the animal, but like it doesn't make any sense because you're like, this has never happened before. Like, I don't know why this is happening. And that's what's coming through. And so it's like you did it knowingly but unknowingly as well. It's like you went somewhere because, oh, this is haunted, let me go check it out. Or, oh, like here where I'm at, I had to do protections ritual on myself before I went there. There's this battlefield here from way back in the 1800s, and it's got a lot of history, but I mean, we're talking about 18,000 men died on this field. Okay, and there was a lot of trickery and a lot of treachery, and it was really hard for me to walk around this field, but it was so beautiful, and it baffled me because where so much blood was spilled, how could something so beautiful exist? Because this place is absolutely gorgeous. And it weighed on me because it's like something I knew I had to protect my energy from, but I knowingly went there. So I feel like you knowingly went somewhere and you know, you were like, oh, I just wanted to visit it because it was really cool or very spiritual. And something came back with you. And since you've been there, maybe you've been feeling a little depressed, down and out, hurt, upset. And they're telling me not to worry too much about it, but that you have to tell it to go away. Because there's not knowing that you have a chance to do that, or you have the power to do it. And remember that you have power over anything that's in the spirit realm. You know, a lot of people don't remind us of that, like that we can have the right to command it to not bother us. And you can always put salt down or find a ritual that works for you. you know, whatever, have sage. Sage works. You know, sometimes sage isn't good for the really, really strong entities, but there are rituals that you can find that will help assist you with that, or getting someone to do that for you as well. But this is more or less that, like, you went somewhere because of some draw to it and stepped into some kind of vortex, or purchased some type of item recently that was an antique or an older item that has something attached to it, and it is connected to some sort of entity or deity. Being that this is the devil, you might automatically think it is demonic, but that does not necessarily make it the case. Let me draw some oracles on it and find out a little bit more. Yeah, this feels very heavy, though. Whatever it is, it feels very heavy. Like, it doesn't want me to talk about it because it doesn't want to be found out. Like, it likes causing mayhem. It likes causing drama, whatever this is. Like, it kind of likes making a mockery of things. That's what I keep hearing. Like, the word mocking keeps coming out. Source, can you please tell us a little bit more about this entity that was self-inflicted connection to some sort? How did this come about? What do you want to... Actually, let me just leave it this. Source, what do you want to tell us? Like, what messages can you help us with pile number 1 here? So, what can you tell us about what's going on with this, Source? Okay. And, you know, don't ever freak out. Like, I feel like I have to remind you, because I feel like there's some sense of anxiety and fear coming. Like, oh my gosh, like, that's not at all what I wanted to get involved in. Like, what the heck? I'm scared of this stuff. And remembering that fear is the number one thing that they attach to. So you had 3 cards come out. I'm going to put those there. And that you have to remember how powerful you are, okay? Yeah, so it was a broken-hearted individual or broken-hearted entity that attached to this. Like, I feel like they died from a broken heart, okay? And I feel like there's this sense of they like to hurt people who have broken hearts. Like, that's something that it's almost like I felt a broken heart, but I don't feel like anybody felt it as deeply as I did. So this is someone who just refuses to cross over. This is someone who just... So it's not really demonic. It's just truly someone who refuses to cross over. You know, like I said, that entity, it felt demonic to me, but it was just someone who was just... I mean, it was just so weird in the dream. Like, I woke up with a lot of anxiety, and when I woke up, I literally sat up in prayer. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so of course I woke up at the witching hour. And I just sat there and I started praying to Source, and I was like, Source, I ask you to put a healing hand over me. I ask you to put me in light and love. Put everyone in this space in a protection bubble. I was like, chase away anything. I asked Archangel Michael to cut any ties. Like, I mean, I was just praying and praying and praying and praying. And then all my anxiety went away, and I felt the presence of God, right? I felt presence of love, and I felt the presence of Source, and I was fine, and I went back to sleep. It was no big deal. But when I woke up, it felt like it just felt like a big deal, like a huge deal. Yeah. So this is actually something that was called to you on the journey to help you balance out your energy. I feel like this was actually brought into your life to help you recognize that you are a high vibrational being, and that you don't have to put up with low vibrational energy like this. But maybe because you put up with it so much in the waking world, or in the 3D realm, that it's like attaching to something that's spiritual here, and reminding you that it's all around you, right? And the energy never dies. It only changes form, and that what you're dealing with right now is something that's changed form. Yeah, they do not want to be found out. They want to be kept a secret. This is a feminine spirit is what's coming through to me here. Very feminine, yeah. Very crabby. This is someone who's very crabby. Oh, they have a really... there's just somebody that's... This is like that person that's, you know, like never smiles. Like, doesn't matter what you give them, what you do for them. Like, they just never smile. That's the type of energy this is. And I feel like maybe because you're an empath, or you definitely sense emotions, like here lately, maybe you've been feeling like that too. And so they're just showing me here that you actually are absorbing some of that energy. But they are showing here that you are protected, and this is a part of your healing process to remind you that you have the ability to set boundaries and to keep those boundaries. And maybe you just need to learn how to do that with something in the spiritual realm, so that you can emulate that in the physical realm, sometimes that's what happens on our journey. We have to realize it was something that we're scared of, like really scared of, right? Something that sets our heart just beating and crazy and all this stuff, and our blood pressure going, and we feel our warmth rising to our cheeks, and we feel the blood draining from our face, and that doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, it's like that energy of just like, holy moly, like I'm really tripped out right now. But it does feel like this is something to help you see things, or to get in touch with a psychic ability that you have. And remember that if this is something that you choose to do in your life, to always take the safe steps. You know, so many people want to go and do ghost hunters and like ghost adventures and all that stuff because it looks cool, but not remembering that there are things that you can tap into that are not very friendly, right? And so it's not that you're dealing with something that's unfriendly, you're dealing with something that likes to cause drama. So if you take that as unfriendly, that's fine, but this is nothing compared to what can be out there, right? And so this is just a reminder that you're the one that protects yourself, right? This feels very like self, like you have to fill your space with light and love, and you have to fill your heart with light and love, and remember that you have the strength to set boundaries here. Okay, so we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse here. Okay, so this person died from a sickness. Okay. Oh, it's not a broken heart. They're telling me it was like a heart attack, or it was like an enlarged heart. Okay. Or something to do with their heart. A blood clot. Oh, I just heard that. Yeah, blood clot. This person's life ended on that terms, and they weren't ready to go yet. And so that's, like I said, they're like someone that has not wanting to cross over. They're not wanting to move on. So then these 3 cards came out. Okay. This could have been an item that was given to you by a family member. Whoa. Okay. So you accept, that's why it's saying like knowingly, like you accepted this item. So this is something that was given to you by a family member, and the reason it was given to you is because they couldn't deal with the energy that was coming from this. Okay? For others of you, this is saying that you maybe have the same bloodline, like it's an item that has somehow come back to you or around to you because of an ancestral connection. Okay, or this is somebody in your family that recently passed and you inherited an item from them and they're still attached to that item. And it was somebody that was kind of like a grouch. Like I just keep seeing what is it, the grouch from Oscar the Grouch, yeah, from Sesame Street. That's who they keep showing me, like someone that was just a grouch, like someone that just was not nice in life, like did not know how to talk to people, did not want to talk to people. But definitely like a family energy here, someone who passed away from a heart situation or something that had to do with their heart, needed a bypass. Maybe they didn't survive a bypass, or they had a bypass and then later they passed away. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is someone who liked to cheat life. Wow. They may have gambled. They may have, okay, when I say gamble, I'm not talking about like going to the casinos or going to the track. Like this is like gambled with people's love and kindness and all that. Like this is someone who, if you loved them, like they would gamble on that love and they would do what they could to get away. If it wasn't you, that's just kind of the person that they were in life. And this is someone who's definitely very negative. Very low vibrational energy here, like absolutely low vibrational energy. Who doesn't want to change. Like they don't want to change. It's like they see you. It's almost like they see how bright you were. And you know, when we cross over, when we pass away, we don't always gain much more higher vibration than what we're at, which is why demonic energies exist, right? We have to think about that. Like if somebody in life was like that in real life, when they passed away, their energy is not going to gain a much higher vibration. Like we have to go through our spiritual awakening to continue to grow our vibrational energy. And so this is someone who doesn't want to grow. This is someone who never wanted to grow. This is someone who liked the life that they lived, who liked the way that they were, who liked giving a hard time to people. Okay, but that's interesting. This is very specific, like something to do with the heart, something very, very much close to the chest area, or they had asphyxiation, so like where they couldn't breathe. This could be the heart chakra being affected here. It could also be the throat chakra, like choking on something, but I'm definitely getting drawn to the heart, something with the heart. Yeah, this is somebody who liked to gamble with the people they cared about. Like, but they didn't, like, that's so weird to say, because it's like they didn't really care, but that's the only way to kind of paint the picture, like the people who were closest to them. And when this person got sick, there was nobody there. And that kind of just aggravated and angered this person, and so they attached themselves to this item, or it could have been multiple items so that they got distributed out through the family. You know, spirits can be in multiple places at once. And yeah, so they can cause a lot of mischief. But I feel like for some, this was an item that was given to you by a family member. So maybe getting it cleansed, or, you know, trying to find a ritual to help not only cleanse your aura, but to help this person pass to the next realm. You know, like, there's no need to stay here anymore. You don't have any business that needs to be finished here. Even if you think you have unfinished business, there's nothing that you can do. Like, you're gone, right? You're not here anymore, so there's nothing that you can do to change that. So let us get some advice with the oracle. Okay, thank you, Source. Yeah, like this is meant to help you grow, with rainbow blessings on the bottom here, okay? This is meant to help you grow. 2222 on the clock. And that is a message from the divine showing that you are very connected. So I feel like you may be a psychic medium and you don't know. And if not, then you're a psychic, but you're still able to connect with, like, you know, even if you're not a psychic medium, it doesn't stop you from being able to connect with the 5D, right? It doesn't stop you. But this is like someone who is coming into their psychic powers, and I feel like this has actually been something that was set on your journey to help you embrace your powers. Look, we have spirituality on the bottom, emotions, intuition, and compassion with Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And what flipped over for you was Scorpio with intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Yeah, so there's a sense of purging here so that you can step into your power. And I feel like that's to remind you, you know, before, here's just a little bit. Let me get another oracle card, and while I shuffle, let me tell you about this. Before I found out that I was a psychic medium, okay, that was quick. I was scared to find out that I was a psychic. Like, I was terrified to find out I had psychic abilities. Like, I was like, no, not, like, why me? Like, that's not something that I want. Like, that's not something that I, so then it advanced, and to find out that I was a psychic medium, that just kind of blew my mind. And I still, to this day, have a hard time accepting it. But it's what I'm working on, because that's the next leg of my own journey. And it's like, you know, this is something that I can absolutely relate to you going through, because it feels like there's a denial coming through here. It feels like there's a resistance because there's a lot of fear. Now, I will say I definitely feared the spiritual realm before I began my spiritual journey. And then once I connected with this divine love, this ultimate love of Source, I realized there's nothing to fear, because we have so much more power than we give ourselves credit for. And I feel like that's something that needs to be reminded to you. This is interesting. This is the card. This isn't on the bottom of the deck. This actually came out on the top of the deck. And this was the image that came through here, which is telling me Native Americans. So you could have Native American heritage, or this could have been something that a Native American owned, or, you know, like I said, a family member or something like that. But it's just interesting that they showed me this one. I had to take it off, and we have the leaders. I know how to lead because I know what needs to be done. Like, you're questioning whether or not you know what needs to be done, but you actually know how to save yourself the anxiety and the hurt from this. For some reason, I'm getting drawn to read just this one. I don't know why. But let me go ahead. There's a message here for you. Okay, it says the heart of the matter. There are times when your ability to assume a position of authority and control is crucial. If you think you cannot lead until you know exactly what to do, it is time you learn the truth about the way every great leader leads. They do the best they can. If you wait for others to take the lead, you may be disappointed, even if they appear resistant to taking your direction in their heart of hearts. They know you are right and will come around to your way of thinking sooner than you think. In everything you do, do not take any shortcuts or get involved with any underhand activities. Behave nobly. Remember to avoid seeming overbearing and dictatorial. Let your good example be the best sermon. It is especially important that you avoid appearing cheap or petty. Almost all people have a hard time accepting direction from someone who does not live up to a very high set of standards. Allow your intuition to alert you to whom you can trust and who is not trustworthy. So this is just saying, like, it's time for you to really, really come into this space of leading yourself. Wow, I think I even read the wrong one, which is hilarious. No, that was the right one. I just turned over too many pages. But the thing is here, it's like you're coming into a space of, like, for centuries, women were held to be sacred from the Latin word sacur, meaning untouchable. Why is that standing out right now? Thousands of years ago, the ability of a woman to create life caused all women to seem as manifestations of the great goddess herself. Wow. Yeah, this is about you really connecting with your inner goddess, your inner truth. Okay, and then here we have this image. It's like feeling alone and feeling outcast. That's what I'm getting from this right now. Like feeling like you don't belong, like feeling you're different from everyone else. And if I accept this part of myself, then that really singles me out. But you're not alone. Like there's so many people out there who have spiritual gifts who have probably gone through this same denial. I did because it was so different from my family. It was so different from what everybody expected me to do and to be and to become. My family wanted me to be a lawyer. Can you imagine? I can't. That is way too heavy of energy. For those lawyers out there, good for you. Let me just say that, good for you, because that is not something that I would actually actively choose for myself. Like, no. Like a doctor? No, I can't. There are people who like that stuff. There are people who want to be that, and that's cool. It is not for me. I was led to exactly what was meant for me, and it's not meant for everybody, right? And the same thing for you. Like, you're being led to what's meant for you, even if you feel like you stick out like a sore thumb. Like, look, you have the sun right here behind your head. Like, the light is being shown on you. You're finding a way to connect with your inner divine being, even though it's kind of scary, or it's really scary what you're going through. We have the farmer, number 30. I enjoy being of service to those who deserve it. Yeah, this is teaching you to set boundaries. It's teaching you to set boundaries with something that's not physical, because you may have such a kind heart that you just easily cave into others. And dealing with this haunted object, it's allowing you an opportunity to find a way to say, no, I don't put up with this, because like sometimes you're so scared that it's like you have to do something, right? And so purging here and renewing, like that's the thing that I keep getting drawn to here. But also with Scorpio, we're dealing with the occult, and that makes so much sense in a haunted object. That's something you would find with occult items, right? And so that's coming through here. Let's see, nurturing, Gaia. Yeah, and this is to remember to love yourself above all else. Like, there's no need to be afraid to show yourself self-love here, and to gift yourself an opportunity to grow. What's really coming through, I'm getting like the picture of an oak tree right now. Like when someone plants a seed, it doesn't take an oak tree one night to turn into the mighty oak. It takes many, many years and many, many hardships. They have to go through storms. They have to go through maybe getting struck by lightning and still continuing to grow. There's all kinds of things that could come up. They have to survive being cut down by man. Like hopefully they're not in the path of what they need to be, that they're trying to build a road or something. But it's just to remember that you have the endurance and the strength to overcome. Let's check out what your oracle card is. Freedom. 24 with 6 in balance. So your advice is to help you find your freedom of your soul. Maybe you're not on your path of purpose just yet, and you're trying to figure out what that is. And I feel like the spiritual journey is going to help you find your sense of freedom, but also freedom of fear. is a huge thing coming out here, like learning not to be dictated by your fear or thinking that, oh my gosh, like I don't have the power to free myself of this entity, or I don't have the power to free myself from something like this, and understanding that you do. You know, you chose the crystal quartz, right? And this is talking about connecting with source. This is through the crown chakra, right? The white light, the purest of light. If you look, this is a pure light. It's a white horse coming through. And when you have pure light, there's nothing that can touch you if you don't give it permission. You know, my mom, she always told me, because I used to tell her I was so afraid of demonic energies, and she's like, nothing can harm you if you don't give it permission. And that is something I fully believe in my heart of hearts. If you don't allow it permission, or if you stand and say, no, this is my boundary, they cannot cross it. Because we're a physical manifestation of spirit and source. And right now, if there's spirit that's connected to an earthly object, they're wanting badly to be a material manifestation, but they're attaching to an inanimate object. Okay, and that's a huge reminder to us that they don't have any other power other than to attach to this object and to cause scares, right? To cause the oogity boogities. But if we're stuck in our fear and they're feeding on that, then they're going to continue to, oh, let me keep scaring them because that makes me feel powerful. This is like spiritual narcissism at its finest. Like, for real. You have the power, okay, pile one? So I hope that this helps. I mean, this was a channeled message from source to do this reading. I was kind of freaked out at first, like, you really want me to do this, but I hope that it finds you well. If it resonated, hit that thumbs up button down below. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for giving us this message. But I am going to go ahead and get on out of here. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans that were drawn to pile number 2. If you chose this beautiful lapis lazuli, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading. We'll check that out at the end. Do you have a curse or a hex on you is what we were going to be asking today. I was going to do the dice at the end, but in pile 1 I didn't, and so I'm deciding that to keep with consistency, I'm not actually going to bring in the dice today, because honestly, the cards have given us the answer. At least in pile 1 they did. I know they will with pile 2. So we will get a little bit further into that. Just keep in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect directly with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you're interested in supporting the channel in any one way, shape, or form, getting a personal and private reading, or following me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, you will find all of those links down in the description box. For my podcast, as of recording this video, the current podcast out is talking all about depression. Is a very personal story to me. It was very difficult for me to do, where I am open and transparent about my own journey with depression, the effects of depression, and how to deal with people that don't take it seriously, and what it has done for me to embark on the spiritual journey. So you will find that there. Make sure you do follow me on over there, and you can take that to listen to you for whenever you would like. So let us go ahead and get into your message. So this card, the Magician, represents you. Okay, this is talking about you. I have a few cards to shuffle from here, which we will get a more clear understanding if there is a hex or curse on you, what that is, and then we'll find out a little bit more about it from the tarot cards. So let me go ahead and shuffle these. Source, for pile number 1, do they have a curse or a hex on them? What can you tell us, Source? Do they have a curse or a hex on them for pile number 1? Do they have a curse or a hex on them? Do they have a curse or a hex on them, Source, for pile number 1? It's just weird shuffling so few cards. There's only 5 more here, and so it's just so weird shuffling this little bit of cards. Sources, pile number 1 have curse or hex on them. What can you tell us? Does pile number 1 have curse or hex on them? Pile number 1 have a curse or a hex on them? Man, this is interesting. Usually by now I've done shuffling, but they just want me to keep going for a minute. You're really worried. That's why. You're really concerned about what's coming out, and they're saying not to worry. You have a lot of power within you, okay? You are capable of moving on from something. If you've been hexed or cursed, you know, there are people who can help you remove that. There are also rituals that you can do at home to help protect yourself, and praying is always a great way to help protect yourself as well. If you did not catch the intro, because I do feel like some of you for pile number 2 did not catch the intro, please go back and listen to the prayer, because I did do a protection prayer at the beginning of it, and that might bring you some sense of comfort. Also, just knowing that, you know, like you can do the salt, you can do the cord cutting, you can do meditations that will help you let go of curses and hexes. You know, there are all different ways, and it all really comes down to your belief. Are you believing that this is working? You know, the more you believe that this is working, this is what's going to happen for you, the more at peace you will be, and the easier it will be for you to release those connections, okay? Because sometimes I think that we get so caught up in the, oh my gosh, it's a dark magic, it's black magic, like what do I do? Like, how could people be like that? We don't know what's going on with those other people, but just remembering that we have the power over ourselves, and we are only giving away our power when we think that someone has power over us, right? That's not true. No one has power over us. Even if they're using spells, even if they're using hexes, they actually don't have power over us. But we do want to become aware of it, because if we're unaware, we might be affected by those words, those curses, right? So it's in becoming aware of it that we are able to do something about it. Okay, so they're telling me to stop. Okay. So let's find out what's coming. Woo! Okay, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so wow. Pile 2. There is, okay, let me just say, again, don't freak out. Come back down. You know, you're okay. You're in a safe space here. There's already protection over this reading. Archangel Michael is here with us. I've already asked for cord cutting. I, you know, said a huge prayer before I do this. I always do on every reading. But there is a curse on you. There is a hex on you with the 2 of Swords here. Okay, right next to you. And the reason is someone is trying to block your blessings. Okay, we're not going to worry about these other cards. It's only about these 2 cards next to you to find out what's going on here. But there's somebody in your energy that is trying to block your blessings. They see that you are going to get many things. They see that. And so they're trying to block your blessings here. This is someone who's alive and well, and they are very jealous. This is someone who is incredibly jealous. They're jealous of your abilities. They're jealous of your gifts. They're jealous of your talents. They're jealous of your strengths and your intelligence and who you are. This is someone who doesn't want to see you succeed. And I want to point out here, now that we have the cards out telling us what's going on, we'll get some more tarot on it to find out. I want to point out here that people who do this, it works for so long, okay, before the energy of it wears off. Because if you're really moving towards yourself and healing yourself and all this stuff, it loses its potency. Even if they keep renewing it, it loses its potency, because the more you believe in yourself, the less that has a hold on you. And the thing is that after some time, what goes around comes around, right? So whatever it is that they're trying to do to you, remember, if they're trying to block your blessings, imagine what's happening to their blessings. First of all, they're not even worried about getting their blessings because they're so worried about blocking yours. So you may be wondering, like, why haven't things been working out for me? Like, why are things falling apart for me? Like, why are things not coming through for me? And that's why, because this person has been diligently trying to block your blessings, to make you lose hope, to make you stop wandering on the journey. They want you to question yourself. They want you to make it feel like you're not doing the thing that's right for you, even though I feel like you're very much walking in your path. But that's the thing that's coming through right now is jealousy. Jealousy and anger. Maybe you had a falling out. This could have been a friend, and maybe y'all had a falling out. This could have been, you know, an ex-lover. This could be someone that you were supposed to have a business with. This really, there's no telling. I mean, we'll get more from the cards to find out more about this, what Source wants to say. But I just want you to know, like, whenever this is present here, not to be afraid. And I feel like that's why Source wanted me to do this today, because sometimes when I watch other tarot readers, you know, they talk a lot about, oh, someone's using black magic on you. And then they leave it at that. And man, I'm just going to tell you from a personal standpoint, that just leaves me feeling even more depleted. Like, oh, great. Thanks. What do I do? And there's never any suggestion as to what you can do or anything like that. And so you just here, I want you to remember you are far more powerful than a curse and a hex. And even if it's like something that was put on your family, like you have the ability to break it. Okay, and again, you can go to someone if that makes you more comfortable. But, you know, I've had to do this for myself. And I find meditation works the best for me because I can visualize it leaving my energy field. I can visualize cutting it. I can visualize boxing it up and sending it back to sender. You know, whatever it is that comes in. And that definitely works the best for me. Yes, I've dealt with this in the past as well. There are also rituals that you can do to do that, or like I said, if you want to find someone, I personally don't do this. It's not a service that I offer. I mean, at least not yet. For the meantime, no, it's not something I offer. And so you know, you can absolutely go to someone that does offer something like that. Now, don't be scammed by scammers. Go to someone that you trust, okay, not someone who's just trying to make a quick buck. Like someone that you know this is what they do, you know this is something they can help you with and help protect you for the future. But also remembering your strength and power is a very important thing here. So Source, let's get some more tarot on it. What more would you like to tell us about the situation for pile 2, about this curse or hex, this person? What more can you tell us, Source? Okay, thank you. What more can you tell us, Source, about this hex, this curse, this spell work, the situation, somebody that's trying to block their blessings? Source, what more would you like to tell us about this? Okay, thank you. Source, what more would you like to tell us about this? Thank you. Source, what more would you like to tell us about this? Whoa, okay, thank you. Let's check out what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, this is someone who's just hating. Don't hate, appreciate, right? Yeah, they're just hating. Yeah, it could have been a business venture that you had together. Oof. But look, judgment's coming for them. Like, this is someone who's so focused on trying to stop you from receiving yours that, you know, eventually all their own crap is going to catch up with them. I mean, there's no stopping it. Why do I hear that song? Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. We're on the groove. I feel like that's where you're at. Like, you're gaining momentum and you're becoming far more powerful than this hex. But this could have been like lasting with you for a long time. Like, trying to keep you from what it is that you wanted. Trying to keep it as from what was rightfully yours. Right? But eventually it loses its momentum on you because you become much greater than that. But this is somebody who just, they're vicious. This is someone who emotionally connected with you so that they could use it against you. Right? And with the 3 of Coins here, this tells me it was for a business venture, or this was for something that you were meant to build together. Like, maybe this was a partner, you know, you were supposed to be. It could be a friendship, but really the 3 of Coins here talks about a business venture, a collaboration. Yeah, this is someone who's so indecisive. Okay, so that's the problem. That the main problem, before we even get to the other cards, with the Fool coming out reversed, this person has no idea what they want to do or who they are or what they should even go after. And it's like you found what worked for you and you just went with it and you ran with it. And because of that, like, it created a lot of mayhem and upset for them. You know, some people, I don't know what's coming out there, but whatever. Some people really, really are so focused on someone else because they're getting their stuff done. And they're so focused on something else and someone else, and they're not focusing on themselves. And so, sure, I mean, you can be mad and upset at this person because I feel like you know exactly who this is. Okay? Sure, you could be mad. But it's kind of pitiful, isn't it? I mean, truthfully. You might be like, yeah, but they did that. No, I understand. I understand. And that feels very, very like an attack on you because it was personal, right? But ultimately, it actually wasn't personal because it was just you triggered them so deeply by being yourself that they felt like they had to step in the way of your blessings. And here's the thing, like, I really feel like your blessings are coming. There's a shift in energy here. You know, once these tarot cards got laid down, there was like a shift in energy. It's like, and this person's curse is going to reflect back on them, and they're actually going to watch as you gain your blessings, no matter how much they try to stop it. And then that's the thing. Once they figure out that, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do to keep them from their blessings, like that's the thing. Like, then all that energy is going to come back to them. So I can't even imagine what they're going to have to deal with in the 3D realm by putting all this negative energy out there, malicious energy, right? Yeah, this person. That's the thing. This person does not want me to talk. Whoa. Alright, look. I know you don't want me to tell them, group 2, what's up, but it's going to happen. Whether you want it or not, it's going to happen because you have no power here, and that's it. And you have no power over my pile 2s. So anybody that chose pile 2, you are going to leave them alone. And Archangel Michael is severing this tie between you two because it does not belong there. And they're severing the tie between you and me, and I'm connecting with your higher self because I need to know the message that's coming through. That's it. That is insane. This person's not. No, get out of here. I'm going to find out no matter what. Shoot. They're mad because everything that they've tried to copy other people. And they've taken like 2 steps forward, but 12 steps back. And they're not making any progress. And so because they can't find their niche, okay? Because that's what it is. This is wanting to find their niche, wanting to find their purpose, wanting to find what makes them tick, what makes them go. They're copying everyone else, and because they're so busy trying to copy everyone else, they're not learning about themselves. And so they've learned that magic, okay, and manipulation has worked for them. Whew, I'm so glad I said that. I felt the cut just happen. Like, I felt it get severed right now. Whoa. Whoa, that was insane. Okay. That's the thing, though. It's like they don't know who they are, and you're in the process of finding out who you are. Whether you know yourself or not, that's not the point. You make it look effortless, and that's the problem. Okay, it's not your problem. That's this person's problem for thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm never going to be pile 2. I'm never going to do what pile 2 is doing. Like I've been trying and trying and trying. So you may have met up with this person after they'd been on the journey for a long time trying to figure it out. And they made it seem like they had their ducks in a row. And yeah, ooh, yeah, that's coming through. Like I just felt somebody run a hand across my throat. Like that was crazy. Not in a bad way, but just like my angels are telling me like you're on the right path here. Like it just, oh, that was weird. It felt like literally someone touched me like that. Like, woo, okay. But see, like that, okay. And so anyways, it's like they may have seen like they had all their ducks in a row, and then something happened where your partnership or this connection fell apart. And you didn't know. you're like always wondering what the heck happened, like what was going on, and you may be questioning that still, like I still don't know why this partnership fell apart. Like it could have been a ghosting situation, it could have just been cutting ties, it could have been all of a sudden like I can't do this anymore, whatever it was. It feels like there was no closure. But there didn't need to be any closure, because the truth of the situation is this person had a mask on the whole time and they were lying to you. And I feel like deep down you knew that and you understood that, but you were still questioning whether or not you were right on the money, and you were. You hit the nail on the head, and eventually this person knew they couldn't hide themselves from you any longer, because things were happening to you that they'd never witnessed before, that they'd never experienced before, and they tried to make it seem like they were going through similar things that you were going through on the journey, or that they were experiencing the same kind of downloads, or that they were experiencing the same kind of inspirations, whatever it is. You know, or that they had the same kind of intelligence. This could have just been business intelligence that you possess. It just comes easy to you because that's your life. That's your path, right? And they wanted that, and it was like a fake it until you make it. But the truth is they could never fake this to make it, because it's not their path. This is not their journey, but they're trying to make it their journey. And so they made it seem like they knew what was going on. And you may have really looked up to this person. Like with this 3 of Coins, I'm getting this energy that you really looked up to them, that you really admired them at one point. And when everything fell apart, it was like, why did this happen? Like this person was mentoring me. It felt like I really looked up to them. I really could trust them. I really like knew what was going on. But, you know, no. Yeah, this person was trying to take you on a path of craziness. This is someone who manipulates people. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. It's just that when they came across you, they wanted to see if they could break you down, because they'd broken everybody else down, and your light was so bright that they wanted to see, wow, they wanted to see if they could break you down. I just had a burp of confirmation here. Wow. So random. Okay, so anyways, they definitely wanted to see you fall from the top. Right? But I feel like, why am I getting that Brandy, and who else sings that song with her? Sitting here on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. She sings it with another person, and I don't remember, but it is a Brandy song, and I think it's called Top of the World. Like, that's why they wanted to break you down, because you were sitting on the top of the world, and I can hear some of you saying, Becky, no, I wasn't. Like, I was struggling just like they were, or they're the ones that had everything together, and I was the one that was struggling. It has nothing to do with the material abundance that you had in this life. It has everything to do with the spiritual abundance that you possess and the wisdom. Okay, and so if you're not a spiritual being, that's fine. This is like wisdom that you had that they wanted, but that's not something that you can gain from another person or take from another person, right? Yeah. And they wanted to, like, they wanted you to stay in this place of not having boundaries. Oh my gosh. This person, why are they like this? Like, why do people gotta be like this? I don't understand. I don't. Like, I see that people are like this, and I'm still always in this. No matter how bad you get hurt, you really gotta act like that? Like, and it's not for me to judge them, but I just, what I'm saying here is I don't understand it. Okay, like, and maybe this is coming through because maybe you're that same way. Like, I don't understand, because I feel like you've been through a lot in your life. You've been through a lot of hardships in your life. And it's like, why? I'm still a good person. I'm still kind. I'm still generous. I still wish well. Like, even when things fell apart, I still like feel like you went and you wished well for this person. And you know what? If you said a prayer, here's the thing. If you said a prayer blessing for this person, because I feel like some of you did. I feel like I'm getting like real antsy right now. Like, I feel like some of you did. You're like, why? I wish them so, like, I wish them success in their endeavors, even though things didn't work out between us. The prayer that you sent to them is going to come back to you tenfold, because you never left in a place of malicious intent. Like, you were never like, oh my gosh, let me get revenge on this person. Like, you were just like, okay, like, that's it. This is over with. Like, I'm just going to go. You know, this person wanted to keep you in a state of being able to cross over your boundaries. But the 7 of Cups coming out right here next to the 2 of Coins, this is telling me that this person wanted to keep you guessing all the time so that they could continue to cross over into your energetic field. So I feel like the whole time you were together, this person was continually putting a hex or a curse on you and seeing the effects of it. So no matter what you would have done, there's no amount of success here. And this feels very old to me too. Like, that's the thing. Like, this feels like old energy in the sense of it happened a while ago. And it's like, I feel like you've grown. Okay, I feel like you've grown. I do want to get, I didn't do this for pile 1, but I do want to get a card. Can you tell me about pile number 2, Source? Yeah, this came out right away. Look at that. Look at that. That was a card. It flew out as soon as I asked the question. We have the 10 of coins here. You know why? Because that's exactly what I said. This person's karma for messing with you is this like your ancestors going to war on your behalf. That's what this feels like. They're like, look, you're not going to mess with our light being that we sent to earth to heal our generational curses, to heal our family wounds, to heal our bloodline. You're not going to mess with them. And so this is like spiritual warfare on your behalf. Like, you don't actually have to do much. I mean, definitely look into cord cutting, to ending curses and stuff like that. But what I'm saying, like, when it comes to your blessings, like, you have everything is promised for you. And I feel like this was all something that was discussed and designed before you ever even came here. You know? Yeah, this person was meant to be a part of your life with the devil coming out here. They were meant to remind you that you have power over the demons and devils in your life. That you kept going. Yeah, you kept going, and you're building some sense of financial stability here. This person did not want to see you succeed at all. But see, that's a problem. It's because this person, look, we have the 7 of hearts, which is 7 of cups, right? We have the 7 of hearts coming out on the bottom here again, showing because you are learning how to set boundaries. You have the power in this situation. This person does not. But for so long, you may not have been aware of what was going on. And so that gave them access to your power. And it was like using your power against you, making you see illusions, making you see things the wrong way, making you see things that weren't meant for you and you going after them. But now the thing is that that's why I said, tell me about pile 2. And the first card to come out is the 10 of diamonds, which is the 10 of coins. Financial abundance in all way, shape, or form. Material gain, material abundance. Okay, this is not just monetary. This is family, home, cars, life, travel, whatever it is that is physical that you can touch in this physical realm. But they didn't want you to have that. But now it's like, maybe you're not starting at the 10 of coins, but you're starting at the 4 of coins or the 4 of diamonds here. And that's saying you're building something of stability. It's like no one can take this away from you because you learned from the ground up. And I feel like this was destined for your journey. Yeah, this was something that was destined for your journey to make you realize just how powerful of a person and of a spirit being you are. I feel like you lost yourself in a lot of people. Wow, this came flying out. This is so crazy. This came out twice when I was shuffling before your reading. We have house 12, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Look, you're healing karma. You're spiritually transcending a situation. So I'm saying, look, the cage is opening and the fish swimming out. Like, you're no longer held back by what this person was doing. Hex or curse or whatever it is. No longer are you being held back because it's like your angels have given you the wisdom that you need to see that you're more powerful than people's words. Yes, words can make or break people, but again, it comes down to low vibrational energy. It's like they have power over you when you're in a low vibrational state because then your aura is open for them to prick holes in. But the stronger you come spiritually, the less people have access to you and your energetic field. 2626 coming out on the clock, which is 88. That's all about healing karmic cycles, right? That's also a master number. But we're talking about healing karmic cycles. And when you heal a karmic cycle, guess what happens next? Abundance. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Air. Open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. You had a mountain to climb to get through this. You have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel like this person may have an air sign rising. Okay, like, I don't know why that's coming through, but I do feel like this person has a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius rising, if you know their chart. Okay? Not a sun sign. This, yeah, they're telling me not a sun sign. This is a rising sign. But you learned, you climbed the mountain. You're coming up over it. But this person saw how strong you were, and they didn't like it. It rubbed them raw. So who cares? You get to be strong. Let yourself be strong. Don't let somebody else knock you down because they can't come up to your level. This person has lived on manipulation. Like, that's all they've ever done. I feel like this person has created spells in their life. Like, when they came across witchcraft, I feel like this person... And understand me, I'm not saying witchcraft is a bad thing, okay? Because it's not. You have black magic as much as you have white magic, okay? Like, that is the duality of all things. Just like when you have religion, you have dark religion and you have light religion. It just depends, right? It doesn't matter. But intention in this world is everything. And so you have people who, like, this to me is someone who was like intentionally trying to stop you, but not realizing that you were learning how to make an intention for yourself. And what's going to be stronger, light or dark? Darkness wins for a little bit, but then they don't win anymore, and there's no getting it back. And I'm sure you've seen people fall from grace because of that. You know, why do I feel that? If I could find assurance to leave you behind, I know my better half would fade. And all my doubt is a staircase to you, open out of the space. The first step is the one you believe in, and the second one might be profound. I'll follow you down through the eye of the storm. Don't worry, I'll keep you warm. I'll follow you down while we're passing through space. I don't care if we fall from grace. I'll follow you down. That is a Shine Down song coming in strong right now. Holy crap. I was not expecting to do that much or to go that far. I don't even know if I remember that whole song that way, but okay. That's what they're saying. Like, this person was following you to help you fall from grace, and you never did. You kept climbing up in the eyes of grace. Right? You were both falling through space, but you got caught by the divine because your intentions were pure. That's what's coming through here. So this person couldn't stand that. They didn't like that. They didn't like you were experiencing that. And then the other thing here with whale breach on the bottom here is saying you left the situation. Look, ancestors, I love that this is coming out for you. Hold on one second. Okay, and look, what did I say? Your ancestors, when this 10 of coins came out, I was like, your ancestors coming through again here. That's exactly what I got. Your ancestors are going to spiritual battle for you. They're like, don't mess with my bloodline, y'all, because you don't know who you're messing with, and you do not know the backup that they have. And for you, Pile 2, you have this backup with you right here. And with whale breach, this is saying that you got out of the situation. It was like getting out of the situation gave you a new sense of strength. It gave you a new sense of understanding, but I feel like that's what gave you a new sense of purpose, right? And look, this is so symbolic. Let's look at this for a second. These hands all around this snake. That's what I feel like this person is. I feel like they're very deceptive. I feel like they're very much this manipulative, secretive person. They do everything in quiet because they like to move unseen, slithering around on their bellies. And it's like your ancestors, look at all these ancestors' hands, like, oh yeah, you think you're being unseen, but guess what? We have hands on you. We have hands on our person, Pile 2, right? We have hands on Pile 2. We're helping them, but we also have hands on you because we're keeping you from destroying this person's life. Like, that's not going to happen. You think it is, but guess what? Your intentions are not going to get you very far. They're not. Oh, that's not the card I want. Okay, so let me get one of these for you. May I please have one of these for Pile 2 source? Yeah, they came out. The Independent. Now I'm hearing that Kelly Clarkson song, Independent. Miss Independent, is that the name of the song? I don't remember how it goes, but that's what I heard. Kelly Clarkson, Miss Independent. Like, I heard that. We have 37, The Independent. This is 10. Like, 10 and 10. You're creating the completion of a cycle, but 10-10 is also walking on your path of purpose. I am aware of my inner dialogue and direct it by positive imagery. Look, you've already come to this place of being the observer in your life, right? Understanding that if I observe what I'm saying to myself, And if it's not positive, then I'm going to have negative experiences. Understanding that you have the power. Like, you're coming into this place of understanding your true power. We have 23 on the clock. So you see a lot of mirroring numbers. And this is the source contacting you. But look at this. What does he have on his mouth here? Are they flutes? They're like little flutes. I don't know what that is. If you guys know what that is, like instrument-wise, please comment down in the description box. Leave a blue heart as well. Show other pile twos that they're not alone. But look, we have the Fibonacci sequence coming through here, right? You have the spider, your own creation. You are creating your life. You're singing it into existence. This is making me think of, from this deck, there's a card in here that's called Dreamtime Creation, and it makes me think of the Aborigine who's singing the whole world into existence. Right? And that's what this makes me think of. It's like you're creating your world. You're unfurling. You're becoming part of the universe and a walking manifestation of the universe. You're connecting with your emotions and you're letting whatever was upsetting you, you're letting it leave you, and you're allowing yourself to transform into this beautiful being. You're no longer identifying with the old you. And it's the old you that this person was able to have some sense of control on, is what Source is showing me here. Let's check out what this card is. Boom. Boom. Blessings coming. Like, I can't make this stuff up, guys. I can't. This is so crazy. I love it. Blessings with the rainbow here. Like, you are about to be blessed. And that's the thing. What did I keep saying? Like, this person's karma is going to be seeing you become so blessed. Not only monetarily, but in all aspects of life, in love, in friendship, in business, in everything that you can imagine that is tangible, that's material, that you can touch and feel. This person has to watch, and there's nothing they can do about it. And they're going to watch as they really thought that their magic, whatever it was, I'm not saying it does or it doesn't exist, but they're going to watch as that withers away and comes back to them tenfold, because darkness can only win for so long before light chases it away. Let's see what your oracle card was. Oh my gosh. Didn't I say that this person moves in secret? I cannot make this up. I just said that with this card. This person moves in secret. We have number 2 here, and your pile too. Secrets, links. Like, this person... Look at this. This is so symbolic to your reading. Look at this bubble. I feel like this is you, and this is this person trying to have a hold on you with this claw on you and everything, trying to keep you from seeing the real world, trying to keep you from seeing your truth, right? Slithering around in secret. And that's why this card wanted to be seen, because it's like your ancestors coming in like, don't you worry, boo. We got you. We're your backup. We're going to war for you. And they are, because you've chosen to be a bright light. You've chosen to stay in good intention. Your heart was pure. And they don't want to let that go, because the stronger you become, the more healed the line becomes. And that's the beauty of it. It's like you're letting go of things that have cursed generations. Generations. You're setting it up for now the bloodline to be a pure bloodline coming into this 3D realm. No longer is it going to be a low vibrational bloodline. It is going to be a high vibrational, synchronistic bloodline, and that's what they want. And it's just crazy that this is coming through like this, and that's how it came out. Like, I love when those synchronicities line up. Okay, you might want to look up the spiritual meaning of links. That may mean something to you. I'm getting that right now. But this person, that's what they wanted. I know I said this was going to be your advice moving forward, but honestly, the cards that came out for you are like pretty clear. It's like you don't actually need advice. Like, you may be freaked out because of this situation, but you're so protected. Like, I don't feel like you're actually aware of how protected you are, Pile 2. This is incredible. Like, this is what I see for you, but this is incredible, and I'm truly honored that you're here. And I want you to know that, like, you never deserve this. I feel like I need to tell you that. You never deserve this. This is just somebody who cannot get out of their devil energy, right? They just can't. They're so tired of the world seemingly winning and them losing, and now they're really going to taste what losing means. Because you're going to get your blessings, and they're not going to know how to handle that. And that's the karma. They just have to sit and watch. They have to sit and watch. Okay, so make sure you do what you can to protect yourself, but also keep in mind that your blessings are coming. There's nothing that's going to stop them. Like, this is darkness winning for a little while, but You ever hear the Bible story about Job and his many coats of color? Was it Job or Joseph? I think it was Job. But his many coats of color and how he lost everything. And he went through years and years of losing everything. And then at the end, because of his suffering, he never lost his faith. And he never gave up that faith. He was rewarded at the end of it. And so tell me down below if you... I think it's Job. I think it's Job. I'm usually really good at remembering that stuff. But tell me down below if I'm right or if it was Joseph. I'm pretty sure it was Job. And then put the verses down there too so others can look it up and just be reminded that hardship makes us stronger. I didn't mean for your pile to go on for so long, but that's what I have for you. If it resonated, leave me a thumbs up down below and put that blue heart down below as well, like just to let other pile twos know that they're not alone. And also claim your blessings here. If this is what you want, say I claim my blessings down below. With that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I do want to take a second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. Until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans. If you are drawn to this beautiful moonstone, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on whether or not you have a curse or a hex put on you. Just a quick message here. These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect directly with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel, getting a personal reading, or following me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify or Anchor FM, you will find that all linked down below in the description box. As for the podcast, as of recording this, the latest one that is out is all about depression, its effects, and how to deal with people who do not take it seriously. Real quick here, this is a very transparent podcast for me. It was very difficult for me to do. I do end up getting emotional in it, and I do end up sharing some of the things that I have gone through, but also sharing some of the tips that have helped me not overcome, but to manage my depression, because I don't feel like we ever overcome it. We just learn to manage it and learn to find balance within our lives because of it. So if that's something that you can relate to, make sure you check that out. I do post on there 3 times a week for you to take at your leisure. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. I just want to say real quick to not be too concerned. So far, both the other 2 readings were very different. I have a feeling yours is going to be extremely different as well. But let us find out what comes through, and remembering that you are far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. So no matter what comes through, you do have the strength within you to release whatever attachments may be there or whatever may be going on within you, okay? Now, I do have the Magician out on the table here as a representative of you. And then I will draw 6 more cards here. These are 6 cards here that I have. It's a very small group. And we'll find out more about if there's a curse or hex on you, and then we'll get some more tarot out on it. I was going to do the dice today, but I didn't impile one, so I decided that the dice are a no-go today, but that's okay. I'm just doing things a little bit different. This was a channeled message from Source to get out there, and I think it's a huge reminder to us that we have the ability to protect ourselves in ways that maybe we didn't know we had, right? So let's go ahead and find out, Source. Just pile number 3. What do you want to tell us? Do they have a curse or a hex on them? What information can you tell us? Do they have a curse or a hex on them? Like, how can we help them? What messages do you want to bring forth? What do they need to know? Do they have a curse or a hex on them, Source? Do they have a curse or a hex on them, Source, for pile number 3? Okay, do they have a curse or a hex on them? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Devil. Don't freak out yet. Let me get it out and I'll explain what's going on. Yeah, okay. I understand what's coming through here. Chimney Christmas. Well, they've all been different, that's for sure. Okay. Alright, so first and foremost, yes. Yes, you do. Okay, but this is not a person who put this. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it's a person asking for you to be cursed by an entity or a deity, because when we have the Devil coming out here, it does talk about an outside entity or a deity that's coming through. So like a ghost or you know, a demonic energy or something along those lines. But you could also be dealing with a god or a goddess or something, dealing with past karma. This really, but this pile here, okay, like I just want to put it out there, this really does depend on what you believe in, okay, because it's going to be different when I say gods and goddesses. And if you don't believe in gods and goddesses, then you're going to be like, well, that doesn't resonate with me. But you may believe in ghosts and demons and angels and stuff, okay? So that's what I'm saying, like this really depends. So I'm going to be interchanging these as we go, and whichever one really comes out the most here is the one I'm going to go with. But I do feel like this is a deity, okay? When we're dealing with deities, that's something that is I don't want to say more powerful than us, but that's like, you know, if you practice any kind of religion that prays to a deity, then you know what I mean. Like this is some kind of a curse that's been put on you by a deity. Like maybe you, okay, I don't know why they're showing me this, but the Santa Maria, like what is it, of death, like del Muerto, like, is that right? The Maria del Muerto, or is it the Santa Maria del Muerto? Like, if you know what I'm talking about, leave a purple heart down below in the comments and let me know if I'm right or wrong. But anyways, it's the goddess of death, right? And sometimes, like, the crazy thing is they'll like crawl miles on their belly to go and ask her for things. Okay, so if this is not what you're into, so maybe it's that you pray to angels or you pray to other entities like Krishna or you know, gosh, why all those names left me except for Krishna right now, and I actually know them all, and that's not all of them, but I know a lot of them, like Shiva and you know, like that, okay? Or if you believe in going to Bastet and Ra and Mot and Isis and so on and so forth. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this. I don't know all gods and goddesses, but you see where I'm going with this, okay? What is going on here is that maybe you've asked for something that you weren't supposed to ask for. Okay, so this could be that maybe you asked for revenge on somebody, and I don't know why this is coming through, but that's the energy that I'm getting here. And so I'm going to go with it. And it's like you've asked for some sense of revenge, or maybe you asked for someone to feel the same thing that you did. This is like trying to pass it on to another person, trying to have malintentions towards another person, and instead it attached to you. And so there might be things that are coming up here that are outside of your control. Like maybe you wanted someone to hurt so bad that you were like, please just let them go through the same pain that I went through. And so now it's like you're dealing with that too in your outside realm, and it's difficult because it's like, I feel like I'm a good person. It's not that you're not a good or a bad person, it's just that you wished ill on somebody and you had a malicious intent behind that. And I'm not here judging. Like, I think all humans have done that, wish terrible things on people, because it's just a wish. What is that going to cause? But it's being heard by someone somewhere, right? And that's what's going on here. So you have a deity that's attached to you here, and I actually may do a deity reading soon. I can't promise that because it's a very, very long and intensive reading. I mean, we're talking, it's got like 20 some cards that we do. And so that's a humongous spread. I don't even have enough room for it on my table here. Even without, like, if I zoomed out the camera, I still wouldn't have enough room on the table for it. So it's just a very intensive reading. But yeah, it's like they're trying to teach you to remember, no matter what happens in your life, that you still have to come with a sense of compassion and kindness. And I feel like that's not something that you want to hear, because it's and if you make it through this reading, I'm going to give you a big applause, because the thing is that this is a very triggering reading, okay? Because it's saying that you have to remember that people will do what people are going to do, and you have no control over that. Even if you send out a curse or a hex, or even if you send out a prayer saying, oh, please do unto them what they've done unto me. Because the thing is that we're here to remain in a state of unconditional love. And unconditional love at its core says, I accept all and all things as they are in this moment. Whether it's somebody that's hurting you, whether it's something that is brutal, whether it is something that's malicious, whether it's this, it's saying I accept it. But remembering that acceptance does not mean that you have to keep inviting that back into your life. Right? So with this, it's saying that you may have gone out of your way to ask or ensue some sort of karma on a person and take it into your own hands. And now it's coming back on you. And I feel like it's in the form of other people. Like, I feel like it's in the form of outside situation. Yeah, these are all very different. All extremely different. Let us find out from Source what more is going on. Can you tell us more about this situation, Source? Like, what messages do you have? Yeah, this is meant to transform you. This was an ex-lover. That's what's coming through. I split the deck and they want me to show this. So this is like an ex-lover that you want. So maybe they cheated on you and now you want the person that they're with to cheat on them. And for some reason you can't find love, right? This is just an example. Take it as it resonates. It's just saying that now you can't find love. And this is meant to transform you into saying that it's just it's time to walk away. This is in the past. It's time to walk away. It's time to cut this out of your life, to cut revenge out of your life, because you may be dealing with a lot of aches and pains, maybe a sore arm, a sore shoulder, a sore back, a sore pelvic bone, a sore knee, sore feet. I'm seeing that it feels like you're working your hands to the bone here, like trying to figure out how to bring good things into your life. But it's like saying that you had malicious intent about somebody, and maybe you're not actually consciously aware of it. Maybe it was just something that you prayed for without realizing you were praying for it. And that sounds so strange, but sometimes we do that, you know? Why do I hear that Garth Brooks song? Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. So that may hold some meaning to you. But this is like helping you realize that you have an opportunity to bring abundance into your life and to take a new beginning. But letting go of the past and not wishing ill on this person, even if they did the worst of the worst of the worst to you. It's just realizing that you had the chance to leave that opportunity and move on with your life. Because the more you wish ill on them, the more you're staying stuck in the past. Okay, so Source, what more can you tell us about this for pile 3? What more do you want to tell pile 3? What information can you pass out for pile 3? Okay. Okay, yeah, they're saying that it's because you wanted to be accepted by people first for a label. That's what I'm hearing. Some kind of a label. So maybe you were engaged, or you were about to get engaged, or you expected engagement from this person. Okay, this card wants to come out. I don't know what that is, but it wants to come out. And it fell through. Yeah. Because this wasn't meant for you. Like, this was something that was keeping you in a very toxic situation, and this is meant to help you find your truth. But the problem that you have right now is keeping going back, and it was a sexual connection. Again, we have that coming out here. So if that's not resonating with you, then it's just someone that you were really close with, okay? Someone that you had a very deep tie with. But I am feeling that this is somebody that was a sexual partner, a romantic partner. What more can you tell us about this for pile number 3, Source? Yeah. So right now, it's just saying that you just have a slanted perspective on this. Like, because they hurt you, right? And I want you to know, pile 3, like, there's no judgment here if this is what has happened. Because the thing is sometimes we get hurt so bad. It's like our heart is ripped to shreds, and we're left in this place without any answers and without any valid reason as to why someone would ever do that, especially when all you did was give everything to them. It just seems like, why am I the one that has to deal with this? And what we forget is that everything happens for us for our better good, right? And even if it doesn't feel good, right? It's like, how can I believe that when it felt so crappy? The worst of the worst situations actually help you to become the brightest light that you possibly can. when you learn the lesson, and the lesson usually comes down to forgiveness, and I already hear some of you saying, I can never forgive this person for what they've done. It's not that you're forgiving the act, right? It's not saying that what you did was okay. Hold up. I got you. I didn't know if they were going to have this come up, but I wrote this down days ago in my planner. Okay? Like, I have this in my day planner, okay? This is what it says. Forgiveness is not conditional. Forgiveness is not minimizing. Forgiveness frees the prisoner, which is you. Forgiveness is not resuming. Forgiveness is to remember your debt was cleared. Your debt. Okay? It's not about the offense. It's about releasing the burden from self. This came up. I was watching this beautiful, beautiful sermon, and this came up, and I was like, that is so profound. And I feel it's so weird that that's coming out right now, and especially on this reading. Because the lesson here is forgiveness. And I feel like already you're like, I can't forgive. Because for you, maybe forgiveness is saying that, oh, it's okay. What you did to me was okay. You know, like I remember growing up, my mom forced us to forgive each other. Like, say we were sorry. Say you're sorry. Even if we didn't mean it. She's like, I don't care if you mean it or not. Say you're sorry. And then the other one had to say, okay, it's okay. Whether we meant it or not. And like that kind of messes with your head on forgiveness. So maybe you experienced something like that growing up. Like when a forgiveness was given, it was saying, I absolve you of whatever you did. It doesn't matter. It's no big deal if you do it again. But remember, forgiveness is not minimizing, and forgiveness is not resuming. It means I don't have to minimize what happened to me. Right? Because what happened to you was awful. It was harsh. It was difficult. And no one is saying it otherwise. I'm not. I'm validating that for you. It was awful. It was terrible. And it's unfortunate that you had to experience that. But when you say, I can't forgive them, I'd rather set them on karma. I would rather be the one that experiences that karma on them. You're saying that I'll always be a prisoner to the way that this person treated me because I will never feel like I deserve something better. I will always be a prisoner to this person because of the way they treated me, because I don't feel I deserve something better. That's what happens. Forgiveness frees you from the situation and saying, I deserve better than this. I deserve to say, I forgive this situation so I can let it go, release the past, release the burdens, release the chains, release the cage, so that I can become a free soul, free from the pain that this has caused me. And that's why we have the Hanged Man coming out here in the reverse. It's remembering that you have control over your life, but when you're so busy trying to affect someone else's life, it creates a lot of heartbreak. And I'm going to take this moment to just mention that, if you have time and you're interested, check out my podcast, because I do have a podcast that talks about narcissists and revenge. And I actually go into explaining my very own situation exactly kind of like this. Exactly kind of, right? Yeah. Why I say exactly kind of, because I tried my best to exact revenge on someone who hurt me so deeply. Cut me. And what ended up happening was a whole world of understanding. And now I've come to a place where I understand why I forgave. I didn't forget, but I forgave. And it's okay to not forget. And you want to remember so that you remind yourself not to go for those red flags anymore, not to not pay attention to those red flags anymore. Yeah, so this was something about starting over. Okay. So it's almost like, okay, so this deity is here until you learn the lesson. That's what they're saying. That just came in, yeah. That just came in so strong right now. This deity is here until you learn the lesson. This is like a block on your blessings. This is a block on you moving forward until you gain knowledge of the lesson. I don't know why I'm doing it. I love that came out first. They say the sun. Yeah, that's the light. That's the clarity in the situation. That's the understanding, shining a light of hope on this, that there's a lesson to be learned here. That's why you're here today. And that's why for those of you that are brave enough to make it past the triggering parts of it, you're saying, I'm ready to heal this. I'm ready to let go, because it's causing so much of a burden in your life. And you see that here with the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Like, this is a huge burden that's causing emotional exhaustion. I feel like maybe you have sleepless nights. You may deal with insomnia. You may deal with nightmares. There's like a sense of nightmares coming in here. This is all because it's like your emotional ego is at war with your spirit, right? Your soul. And your soul is a being of unconditional love, accepting all as is, as it has happened, as is, okay? There is no, I'm only going to love you if, okay? It's saying, I love all beings as they are in this moment, but that doesn't mean that you have to invite them in if they're toxic, right? It's interesting because on the sermon, too, he talked about snakes, and he's like, you know their nature, right? And he's like, if a snake bites, do you let a snake come in your front door? No, because you know it's nature. You're not going to let a rattlesnake just come and chill on the bed with you or on the couch with you, right? No, why? Because you know it's nature. Like, you know it's poisonous. You know it's dangerous, right? So that's what they're saying here. It's like, you know the nature of this person, so you understand that nature. It doesn't mean that you have to let that person the snake come and sit on your bed. It doesn't mean you have to let that snake come in and sit in on your life. You know its nature. You understand its nature. You're aware of it. Right? So what's the best plan of action? To stay away from it. But you can stay away from something while forgiving it. Forgiving them for the pain that they caused you, so that you can set yourself free. Because there's nothing you can do to change what has happened, and creating a situation where you're trying to cause more drama or more harm in this person's life is just putting you back into a karmic cycle, a lesson that you're not learning here. They're asking you to close this cycle with the 9 and the 10 right next to each other. This isn't asking you to understand. Forgiveness brings it to a close. Letting it go is what ends this cycle completely, right? You have the number 10 coming out here with the sun. That's a 19 card. So you have 10, 10. This is going to lead you onto your path of purpose. Okay? But there's a need to have faith. There's a need to have faith here for you, pile 3. I feel like you see 111 a lot. Yeah. This person had no love to give you. No love. They were impulsive. They were self-sabotaging. Okay? And now it's time for you to move away from this. What's peeking out here? This wants to come out. Yeah, heal your wounds from the past with this 3 of Cups. Okay? Heal your wounds from the past so that you can build strong emotional bonds. You can move towards strong emotional bonds. I'm going to put this behind this one. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you're just not seeing clearly. Like, this is like okay, so the Ace of Swords in the reverse is actually, if there was one word that I could put towards it, it's not foggy or no clarity in my deck. It talks about being conceited. Okay, and when you do something like this, there's a form of conceit that's coming through, right? Because it's saying, I'm too good for you to treat me that way. That's conceited, right? That's being conceited at its finest. It's not intentional. That's not what I'm saying here. It's not intentional. What I'm saying is there's this form of saying, like, I'm too good for you to treat me like that, and yet you treated me like that, so now let you feel my wrath, right? But this is this person's energy. They're a self-sabotager. They are, it's interesting that they're not talking about the deity here. Whoa, okay, this is peeking out. Yeah, this is a trickster. This is a trickster. This is someone who is meant to help you understand the act of forgiveness. Okay, they say you know who this is. But the reason you have a deity connected to you is because you're asking for harm on another person. Okay, and like, if you guys know anything about the Wiccan decree, it's to do anything you please without harm on another being, right? And so I bring that up here because some of you may be practicing Wiccan and learning spells and casting spells, and now you have one of the gods and goddesses on your butt because they're like, look, pile 3, we promise not to hurt another person. We promise not to cause harm or wish harm on another person. And what are you doing here? You got into this because you wanted to hurt another person, or you're hoping that this will hurt another person. Yeah, there's danger. I keep hearing danger, 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 Will Robinson, danger. Like you're treading on very thin ice right now. Okay? And this feels like a warning with the deepest amount of love to you to stop and come back to a place of light, because as you keep going down this path, you're going to lose yourself. Okay? You're going to lose yourself, and you're going to lose access to your light, and it's going to be like starting all over again at the bottom. And especially when you've come so far. And it's hard, when somebody hurts us and it feels so personal. It's like, but it's personal, and it never was, right? It never was personal. It just had to do with their own sense of self at the time. It had to do with where they were. And when somebody hurts us emotionally, physically, or mentally, even sexually, we have to take a step back and look at things from their shoes, which is hard because it's like, I'm the one that was hurt. I'm the victim. Why should I look at the perpetrator's point of view? But when you take a moment to look at the perpetrator's point of view, we often learn that they experienced that same kind of hurt in their life. And in some way, shape, or form, in a twisted way, they feel like giving you love is acting the same way, and not realizing that they're actually physically hurting you, like not really, because it's like a twisted sense of self, right? And that's why they're giving me this, because pile 3, if you keep going down this trying to instill karma on this person, which is not yours to dish out, it's like you're going to lose yourself in this idea, and you're actually going to become the embodiment of this person to other people, and you're going to pass on this hurt. And I feel in my heart of hearts that that is not something that you want at all. I feel like you're a good person, you're a good soul, you're a good heart. But sometimes even the purest of hearts, when they're cracked and shattered, have a hard time being put back together and can be built crooked. Right? And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're a complete loss. We have on the bottom Libra. Balance, fairness, right? Consideration, fairness, and harmony. Understanding that whatever is meant for them to get dished out is going to come to them. You don't need to be around to see that, even if you would like to be around to see that. Okay? House 12, yeah, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Look, I cannot make this up. Look, didn't I say let yourself free from the cage? And we have this cage here. Okay, like it's like you have to set yourself free from the situation. Nothing you do, say, act, or be will set you free from them. You have to choose to be free of your past. Knowing that nothing you do will change it. Look, we have house 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. This is affecting your blessings. This is affecting your physical security, your material values. Right? And it's affecting your self-worth. Like I said, it's like you're putting yourself in a position where you believe that this is all I deserve. And you don't. You deserve something so much better than this. Okay, the persistent. I hold fast to my goals and ideas as I persevere, ideals as I persevere. We have 47, which is 11. Yeah, you're stubborn. I already feel it. You're very stubborn, and that's okay. You could very well be a Taurus ascendant, is what I'm getting here, or have Taurus very highly aspect in your chart, which would make you very stubborn, especially if there's Aries in the mix of that, okay? But it's like, no, I need to do this for myself. I need to do this for my well-being, but you're losing yourself. Like, that's the thing here. And so it's like, I'm holding fast to this, but at the same time, it's like Source is saying, come back to the light. We need you. We need you because you have something beautiful to offer this world. And especially if it's having to do with curses and hexes, I don't think you realize just how magical you are. Yeah, you're stuck in the past. Stuck in the past, in the darkness, not seeing that you're a star, you're a light being here to bring good. And you've been hurt so bad that it's like, again, even the broken heart can be built back crooked. Like, that doesn't make you wrong or right. It just, sometimes that's exactly how it is. Right? You don't want to deal with your emotions. You'd rather just let them live in the darkness and be like, I don't want to pay attention to that. Like, we have the church here in the background, like spirit calling. but you're still headed towards the path, or the past here. That's your path of purpose, is reaching out towards the past. You see how she's reaching her hands out this way? This way is towards the past. So you're sending out messages to the past, like, why did I have to endure this? Why did I have to go through this? There is no real answer to that other than it's to make you spiritually stronger. And all things are things that we decide and determine before we're ever born. And, even the hardest things that we go through are meant to give us strength and resilience. And I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for seeing that you survived whatever this situation was. And maybe that's enough to bring you back to yourself as saying, I survived that. Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I survived. On the bottom, like, we have the loner. I enjoy being alone and getting in touch with my true feelings. I cannot make this stuff up. I was just saying, you don't want to get in touch with it. This is the strength that you have here. There's a whole ocean of emotions behind you here. And you have to travel that journey. You have to get in touch with that. But look, we have the stars again. And not all the cards have stars on them. Look, even this one has Saturn on it, but it doesn't have any stars. Look at that. Look, let's see the next one. Look. Look, you got 2 star cards. So it tells me that you're meant to be out there helping people with something very important. Look at the birds. Something about birds with you. You may get birds a lot. In your life. You may have birds that just chill with you all the time, and they're trying to bring you messages, like they're trying to tell you. They're trying to help guide you back towards the light. And I feel like you're just so much in a place of hurt that you can't listen. Like, it's being in the emotional ego is where the hurt's at, right? It's being controlled by the pain instead of understanding the pain. And they're asking you to come to a place of stillness so that your guides and your spirit... Oh my gosh, this card flipped over. So that your spirit team can help you understand what the pain means. Look, we had this card flew out. Winter solstice, reflection. To look in the mirror. To see the mirror of what happened to you. And understanding too, I think this is the saddest thing, is that we don't realize the mirror of people within us, right? It's like, maybe we don't act like that, but we have that ability within us. Whatever a person does to us, every human being is capable of acting and being that way. Every human being. No matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, we are all capable of being just like whatever XY. Good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And that's why they're saying it's time for you to slow down, right? We've come into the winter. The winter is a time of slowing down, going within, right? We have to stay indoors. That's symbolic to going within and seeing ourselves from the inside. Not how we feel and what that feeling is going to charge us to do. It's seeing, I feel this way. Why? Where does that come from? Why is this such a trigger for me? Where did that, and you might be like, this has never happened to me in my life. But as you start to dig this out, you might realize that this is something that actually mirrors you growing up and not realizing it, right? Because it feels so different, but it's actually the same thing as like what you went through as a child. What's on the bottom of the deck here? Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Wow. I can't make this up. Look, and the moon is covered here. Like your emotions, like the moon is all about getting in touch with our spiritual awakening, our emotions on a deeper level, but being able to feel them and go through the ups and downs that come with that. But look, the tsunami here is what's taking everything over. It's just like crashing in. It's like your emotions are controlling you right now, right? A lot of truth coming in here. There's a lot of needing to tell yourself the truth and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself that you understand the truth of the situation. Right now, it's like, this is what happened, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Wanting to be heard and validated for your own actions in the situation. Like, I was a nice person. They don't understand that. I was a good person. And now I can't be a good person because of them. That's not the truth. You're choosing to not be a good person because you're choosing to not observe and look at your emotions in the situation. When we deny ourselves an opportunity to look at ourselves on a deeper level, we become controlled by our anger, our fear, our hurt, our pain, our heartbreak, whatever it is. Every human is guilty of this. Myself included. We have 3333 on the clock right now. Okay? Every human is guilty of this. No one is free from this, but it takes someone choosing to look at this as, what can I learn from this? Rather than being consumed by it. And what does a tsunami do? It consumes everything in its path. I mean, there's no getting away from it. Let's check out what this card is. Pluto, transform. This is all about death and rebirth. Transforming and purging and letting go of what once was and coming into what can be. Okay? This is like your angels saying, nope, we're not going anywhere right now. Okay? Basically, we're putting a hold to all your blessings. We're putting a hold to your love. We're putting a hold to your friends. We're putting a hold to everything in your life right now. Like, everything seems like it's falling apart. Why is it falling apart? It's not because someone put a curse on you. It's because at some point, whether consciously or unconsciously, you put a curse on someone else in hopes that you would be vindicated for what happened. Why do I hear that song right now by Dashboard Confessional? Vindicated. I am something. I am strong. I am right. I know I'm right. I knew it all along, and I am well. But I am cleaning up so well. I swear you saw me something, and you swore you saw yourself. That's interesting. That's the one they wanted to hear. You swore you saw yourself, right? Check that out. I know I didn't get it right, but that's what it's like. Vindicated. I am worthless. I am wrong. I am right. I swear I'm right. I swear I knew it all along, and I am something, but I'm cleaning up so well. And I'm seeing in me now the man you swore you saw yourself. Okay, that's what it was. I had to slow it down. I couldn't remember it. So anyways, they're saying here, it's like you want to be vindicated for what happened. But vindication comes from validating what we feel and knowing that what we feel is okay. We don't have to act on those feelings, but if we don't validate our feelings ourselves, we'll get lost. What's your card? Wow. So this is the Taurus card in this deck. Didn't I say you have a Taurus ascendant? And we have the Taurus card coming out. I had no idea what this was. I get to look at it with you. But look at this. This is Sacrifice Bull with number 40. Look at this person down here causing all of this chaos. And I'm stubborn. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep causing this chaos. And this is saying you have to sacrifice that. You have to sacrifice the need to be right. Okay, there is no right or wrong in this. There is simply what is. And it feels like that just is like, oh, but that doesn't validate what I've been through. No, because it's not anybody's job to validate what you've been through except for you. But validating what you've been through does not mean extracting revenge. And I know this is a hard reading. Okay, I know it is. And if you made it to the end, let me give you a round of applause. And please, please, please leave a white heart down below in the comments for other pile threes so that they know they're not alone. This is a very human thing that has happened in this reading. I'm not here sitting on a pedestal saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. I'm telling you what the cards are saying, and I'm reminding you that I myself have been through a situation very much like this where I tried to extract revenge against someone who hurt me deeply. And what I learned from it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's never easy to let go of these things, but forgiveness is the path to freedom. And my mom has always told me, ever since I was a little girl, forgiveness is a daily walk. It's not something you can do one time and hope that it will be okay. Like, it's something that we are always going to have to do. Because there will always be situations that arise in our life that make us feel hurt. That's just human life. That's the duality of the life we live in. Okay? So I hope that this helps. If it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button down below. But I am going to go ahead and leave it there. I do want to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, my guides for all coming together to give us this message and source. And with that being said, until next time, stay human. Bye.